Now live from Palin Music Studios in Springfield, Missouri, it's Wake Up with Greg. Here's your host, Greg.
Hey, good morning, friends and family and everybody out there in the internet world. Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up with Greg. I am your host, Greg Rosander with Palin Music Center. And it's another beautiful sunshiny day, but it's freezing outside and it's freezing in the studio. So Jordan and I are sitting here like looking for blankets and heaters and gloves and all that kind of stuff. So I apologize if I'm shivering during this episode. So why am I here? What are we doing? For those of you who've never seen this show before, welcome. First of all, we are happy to have you here. I am here primarily to show you some amazing musical instruments that are available for you to purchase from our website right now at palinmusic.com, or you can also call me at 417-882-7006, and we can chat about the horns before you purchase them. But they are the coolest instruments on the planet, and I got a little something special in store for you today, so stay tuned because you'll want to see what it is. So I'm here every morning, weekday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. So, you know, it's a little bit early for the West Coast folks, a little bit late for the East Coast folks, but hey, you can all watch it anytime you want. You can watch it live or you can watch this later in the day, whatever floats your boat. But some things that I would really love for you to do, one would be to hit the like button for us, really helps us out. Two would be to hit the subscribe button, which helps us out even more. The more people that we've got subscribed, the more content we're able to create. And then finally, comment. Leave your questions in the comment in the chat function. I see them scrolling up on my screen over here, so I'll be happy to answer them during the show. And if I can't get to them during the show, can certainly get to them after the fact. So please leave your comments, leave your questions. Let me know where you're watching from. I mean, if you're watching from right here in Missouri, or down there in Brazil, or, you know, up there in Alaska, you know, wherever you might be. But we're glad you're here. Thank you for being here. We're going to show you some really amazing horns today, and just share some fun life stuff with you, some fun things that I'm interested in, some music and some wisdom, and uh-oh, I don't know where I put my quote. All right, but I can find it. We'll get it to it later. Anyway. So yeah, let's get into this, but before we do, let's say hi to my good buddy Jordan. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Greg.
What's happening, my friend?
Oh, not much. Just trying to preserve body heat and
Trying to
get through this.
keep it warm, yeah.
Yeah.
So we get the rubbing the hands together. We need a fireplace. We need a fireplace on the set.
That'd be cozy.
Let's do that. We'll put a fireplace. I think Leanne's got one up in the accounting office. We'll grab
all right.
hers.
Let's steal it.
All right.
Cool. Well, before we hop into all these beautiful instruments I see over here today,
Yeah.
why don't you tell us about the shirt and watch you got on?
The shirt and watch. My shirt is a little understated today. Of course, looking at it on the big screen, it looks a little busy, a little pixelated. I don't know what it is, but this is a Joseph A. Banks shirt. Just a simple check pattern, dark kind of navy blue and white. So I know a little understated for me this week. We're kind of coming to the end of the cool shirt in the wardrobe. But hopefully the weather will switch and we'll get some warmth and I can change out and bring on a whole new slew of cool shirts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this Joseph A. Banks is a great shirt, really comfortable, nice fit. And then the watch, again, if you've been here, you've seen it. This is my my Citizen Echo Drive. This was a gift from my wife for our 25th wedding anniversary. Solar powered. I always have to remember to put it in the sunlight to charge it up there. Got a black silicone band, some blue highlights on there, stainless steel. So yeah, it's a fun watch. I love it. Thank you, my beautiful wife, Lori, for the precious gift. All right, so that's the watch, that's the shirt, that's the greetings, that's all the business stuff out of the way. Let's look at some cool horns. All right,
Gloves on.
I got some new gloves today. My previous pair were looking a little sketchy, little used, shall we say, a little dingy. So gotta stretch to fit these. These are a little tight, but man, look at that. Woo, pretty, pristine white. Never been worn or used before. All right, so I feel that there's a segment of our audience out there that has been a little bit neglected in these shows as far as the instruments we've shown, so I am going to treat you today. Today we are sharing some flutes. Yes, that's right, we sell flutes too. Clarinets, flutes, saxophones, trumpets, trombones, French horns. Maybe I'll show a French horn tomorrow, who knows. But yeah, we got some cool flutes for you today. So we're gonna jump right in with this first one here. I'm gonna spin it around, spin it around. You spin me right round, baby. Now, here's the thing about flutes. I'm going to show them to you, but they're not going to look much different to you on the screen here. But they're cool nonetheless, and I'll tell you why. These are the features. So let me show you that flute here. What we've got here first is the Dejau. This is a really cool handmade flute company. Dejau. This is the model DZ701. This is an all sterling silver flute. We've got a sterling silver foot joint, sterling silver body, sterling silver head joint. What does that sterling silver do? It just gives you really rich, pure flute tone, a nice ring, a nice brightness, just a whole lot of flavor to it. So yeah, sterling silver all the way around. What other really cool features would you find on this flute? All right, for those of you in the know about flutes, you can take a look at that and see, oh, that's got a key alignment of the offset G. So this is the G key right here. You can see how it's not in line with these other ones. So it's offset. Basically what that does gives you a little bit more comfortable playing position, especially for those of you with smaller hands, younger players and whatnot. But so yeah, solid silver. We've got the offset G. What else we got on this, Greg? Well, let's see. We have the open holes. Now, the holes, you can't tell that they're open because they got little plugs in them, but you can take those plugs out and play them. So what the open holes do, for a variety of reasons, they give you better intonation, but they also provide you a lot of different additional fingering options with like half-hole techniques and different things like that. Helps with intonation. We have the extended B foot here, so you've got traditional standard flutes like your student flutes. You're going to have a C foot, which has just the two keys here, but the B foot has the extension, so it's got an extended range. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much all the bells and whistles on this guy. Comes in a really nice French style case, kind of like that, you know, the traditional case with a nice case cover. Check out the Dejau logo there. So nice zippered case cover. Comes with all your accessories, the cleaning rod and all that good stuff. So this is the Dejau, that's D-I-Z-H-A-O, Dejau handmade flute, the model 701, live on our website right now at palinmusic.com or at 417-882-7006. Give me a call. Let's chat about it. All right, so that's flute number one. Do I have more? Yes, I do.
Oh, he has more.
Got to take the gloves off. All right, where are you, folks? Looking for some chats out here, looking to have a conversation with you folks.
Any question you have, you can just ask Greg. How cool is that?
How cool is that? We can talk live from anywhere in the world.
Crazy. Good coffee today?
Good coffee. All right.
All right, well, why don't you recommend some music for us today?
All right. I've got an interesting one for you here, folks. In honor of our flute day today, I have a song, and this song, I didn't seek this song out. It just kind of came to me through the mist, through the ether of the wonderful world that is Spotify. This song is called Fluter's Ball. And yeah, I know, it's all about flutes, baby. And let me just show you. This is from the soundtrack to the movie Experiment in Terror. I don't know, I've never seen the movie. Probably, you know, one of those like 60s horror films, I don't know. But what's great about this piece, composed by the legendary Henry Mancini. And if you don't know Henry Mancini, you need to look up Henry Mancini. I mean, you've heard of the Pink Panther theme, right? That's Henry Mancini. You've heard of Charade. You've heard of Hatari. The Baby Elephant Walk. One of my favorite movies with my family. Kind of a cult family classic called The Party with Peter Sellers. Henry Mancini is a legend in the industry. He's scored dozens of films, maybe hundreds of films. I don't know. I haven't done a count yet. But this is just a really cool song. It's called Fluter's Ball by Henry Mancini from the soundtrack Experiment in Terror. I don't know if I can recommend the movie or not, but I can certainly recommend the song. It's a really cool little kind of jazzy flute jam. I think it's got kind of some flute ensemble stuff in it, so it's a lot of fun. And it came up, you know, just in like, sometimes Spotify will, like when you're finished listening to a playlist or something, it'll just go into a radio function and just play songs similar to what you've been listening to. I listen to a lot of soundtracks, a lot of scores, a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm a big Henry Mancini fan, so it just kind of popped up, and I loved it, and you, I hope, will love it too. Fluter's Ball by Henry Mancini from Experiment in Terror. All right, check it out. Alec, I checked it out. I told you to check it out. All right, so that's my song for the day. Let's hit flute number 2. Put the fancy gloves back on here, and we will talk about that. Jordan, what's new in your world? Anything exciting? You're going somewhere next week, right? You're going to be going?
I'm going to the beach.
Going to the beach? Which beach?
Panama City.
Panama City. I am jealous because I love the beach. Well, we will miss Jordan next week, but we do have a fantastic bunch of crew here that can fill in while he's gone. So I won't tell you about that until next week. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll miss Jordan for sure. But he's going to have fun at the beach, and he's not taking me with me, so I guess he doesn't like me too much. I could do the show from the beach. I could. Like right on the beach.
I didn't think about that.
Toes in the sand, wind in my face, you know, the whole deal.
Okay.
Salt in the air.
Well, I guess you got to come then.
All right, well, we'll make that happen. All right, hey, let's jump into flute number 2. Dun, 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 dun. Can you tell the difference? Can you feel the love tonight? All right, well, this is a second flute here. This is the Selmer professional grade flute. This is the model SFL for Selmer flute 611. So this is their top of the line Selmer flute. BO standing for B foot and open hole. So what do we got here, folks? We've got, again, an all solid sterling silver flute. We have sterling silver head joint. We have sterling silver body. We have sterling silver foot joint. We have the extended B foot that everybody loves on their flutes. You flip this around here so you can see the key arrangement. We have the offset G on this flute as well with the open holes. You can see this one also has the little plugs in it. So why the plugs? What do the plugs do for you? So if you're an advancing player, you know, maybe a student player that's transitioning to your first open hole flute, because traditionally student flutes are a closed hole flute, so you don't have to worry about trying to cover up a hole with your finger as well as pushing down the key. But the plugs allow you to get used to the feel of an open hole flute. So you put the plugs in first. Some teachers say just throw the plugs away and deal with it right off so you'll learn it quick. Others will say you can try the plugs and then, like, you know, take one out at a time and get used to the feel until you've got them all out, and then you don't ever need the plugs again. But so that's what the plugs are for. They do get lost easily, so, you know, hang on to those. All right, so we got all of the basics on here: silver plated keys, offset G, what else? The B foot, gizmo key, oh, pointed key arms. All right, take a look at this. So on the key cups here, you can see how the arm is where it's attached to the rods. It's got a point that comes down in the middle of that. So what does that do for you? Besides looking really cool, it also adds stability to the key. It gives you a much flatter, much more even pressure on the key, so you get a good tight seal on it. It is a preferred key design. Now, does that mean that the DeJow that didn't have that is bad? No, it does not at all. It's just a different design. The DeJow is a great flute, so it just doesn't have pointed key arms, but they do have flutes that do. So, all right, and then yeah, so that's the head joint. You can see the flute head joint there. I don't know if you can see the logo. Flutes don't come with a lot of decoration on them generally. I know you can find some flutes out there that are like multicolored, comes in pink and blue and green and all that. Don't recommend them, but they look cool. So yeah, this is the Selmer SFL 611 BO, live on our website right now, or if not, certainly later today. Yeah, or you can give me a call, 417-882-7006. And this also comes in the French style case, wood shell case with, plush line. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. That's got the Selmer logo on there. You can see that. Little zippered bag for the outside, pockets for all your goodies. So, yeah, that is flute number 2. They're a little bit more delicate here. I'm trying to be careful with them. Don't want to cause any flute injuries. All right, so, hey, how about that? 2 flutes down, 1 to go.
1 flute.
That's 2. All right.
All right, well, before we hop into the last flute, Craig, I
Yes,
think it's time for you to tell us about something cool.
Something cool. All right, well, I think I've hit pretty much everything on my set here, except a couple of little pieces here that I want to share with you. And this is really just stories about Greg. What does Greg like? What has Greg done in his life? And why should you care? Well, you can care. You don't have to care. But, you know, I'm sharing my life with you. I love sharing life. Hey, Max, good to see you. Thanks for commenting. All right, 2 things. My first ever, I lived in Chicago for a brief, well, not in the city of Chicago, but in the suburbs of Chicago for a few years. My wife and I had ventured away from family and everything and started a kind of a new life out there, exploring the world and different experiences. But I was fortunate to work with a great group of guys at the LA Sax Company out there. And through that, I was able to play a lot. I did a lot of performing. I was in a couple of swing bands, like big dance bands. One called the Music Makers, one called the Moonlighters, I think it was. I don't know if they're still out there, still doing it, but if you guys are, love you, miss you. It was great fun. I was in a band called the Rockin' Docs. A bunch of doctors, rich doctors that dreamed of being rock stars, so they had all really high-end gear. But they would just do charity events, and we did this one event that was really cool for like a special needs community, you know, people with mental deficiencies and whatnot. It was their sweetheart dance every year for Valentine's Day. Got to play that, did a lot of classic rock, you know, big horn stuff, kind of Chicago and Earth, Wind and Fire, that kind of stuff, a lot of fun. But I actually got the opportunity while I was out there to be in a pit orchestra for an off-Broadway musical. Now, how off-Broadway? So far off-Broadway, it wasn't even in the same state, but it was in the Chicago area. And this is it. This is the program from that musical. I'm sure you've never heard of it, and here's why. I think we only had 4 performances before it shut down, but it was called Liberation, and it was a 70s musical about the women's liberation movement. There you go. It was a lot of fun. I don't want to say anything negative about it. You know, let me just say it was a lot of fun. Played with my friend Dave. I've mentioned Dave Schottel out in Texas. We got to be in that orchestra together. So I think I played soprano sax or a few different things like that. A lot of fun. So my first ever professional musical experience, like paid gig kind of deal. I don't know what I got paid. I'm sure it wasn't even enough to cover my gas. But let's see, what are some of the songs in here? I don't even know if they're listed. I don't need to find the songs in here. Liberation. It was a fun musical. That's what I did. But this guys, this little book here, one of my best favorite musical experiences of my entire life. And I got to experience it with my wife, which was awesome. This was in late college. In fact, I think this was like the kind of a community choir at Cal State University, Bakersfield. But we got to perform this. Mozart's, that's right, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart Requiem, the Requiem Mass. If you guys have never heard this before, you have got to listen to it. I mean, watch the watch the movie Amadeus. Academy Award-winning performances, Academy Award-winning film. I think it came out in like 1984, somewhere around there. Tom Hulce plays Mozart. F. Murray Abraham plays young and old Salieri, got his Oscar for playing that role. It's, you know, there's some artistic license as far as the actual story is concerned, but the portions of that film that address Mozart's Requiem and the torture that he went through in writing this, it's just amazing. And the music is haunting. I mean, it's heavenly, it's haunting, it's stunning. It is so much fun to sing and to be a part of. So yeah, Mozart's Requiem, KV 626. I don't know what all that means, but this is the vocal score from that. You can see all the music in there. Had an absolute blast. We've got some recordings of that. I don't know if I can share those with you or whatever, but check it out. Mozart's Requiem Mass. I don't think you can find Liberation anywhere out there, but if you can, let me know. So yeah, those are my just fun, cool musical experiences I've had in my life. I've had many others. I've done all sorts of things in the high school and college and after college and here in Missouri. And you know, I'm working on a new thing with a buddy of mine, Nathan LeBee. If you're out there, I won't share all the secrets of that, but that's something coming up down the line. Getting back into some clarinet playing. How about that? All right, so that's the cool thing for the day. Thank you for humoring me and letting me tell you about my life. All right, we got one more flute. And I think as far as just like cosmetics are concerned, this is the prettiest one of the bunch here. And I'll show you why in just a second. This is a Yamaha professional grade flute. Let me put the fancy gloves back on here so I don't get it all fingerprinty. All right. All right, new gloves. All right, so this is the Yamaha YFL 587 professional flute. And this one has got some unique and different features that the other two flutes didn't have. Let's start at the top. First of all, we do have the sterling silver head joint, but this comes with a, I believe it's 14 karat gold plated lip plate. And the plating actually extends through the inside of the head joint as well, which is really cool. So lots of opinions on the gold lip plate, whether it affects the tone or has any effect on the instrument whatsoever, besides just looking pretty. Well, I mean, it does if you can hear those kinds of really fine nuances. But what's really great about it is for anybody that has, kind of allergies or you're affected by metals, like different metals. Sometimes sterling silver can be an issue for some people. Gold is a hypoallergenic metal, so you won't be getting that lip rash if that's ever been an issue for anybody. So that's the gold anyway. So let's look at the main features. We've got the standard body with the open holes. We have the extended B foot on this. This one, however, you notice the key alignment is a little bit different on this. This is called the inline G, which means the G key right here is in line with all of the other ones. So that's the traditional setup. The offset G is, it's been around for a long time, but it's not the traditional setup on a flute. But so we have that. We have this little guy here, the C sharp trill key, which is an added feature on this particular flute. We've got the gizmo key down on the foot joint. We have the pointed or French style key arms. You can see those there. And here you can see this. This one does not have the plugs in the holes. So you can kind of see those holes going all the way through. Drawn tone holes. What is drawn tone holes? Where they actually pull the tone hole out of the metal as opposed to just drilling a hole in it and soldering on a key cup. So it's actually all still one piece of metal, and then they roll that lip over on the tone hole to give you a really nice, tight, clean seal on the pads. Long lasting. So this one has a silver plated body and foot joint. The bulk or the main sound or tone produced by the flute is produced by the head joint. So to have the sterling silver head joint, that's the most important piece as far as the metal content. The flute body having a silver plated body, nothing wrong with that at all. It's still nickel silver as far as the metal content, and then with the bright silver plating on the outside. So still going to be a very beautiful sound. This is the Yamaha YFL 587, and then there's some letters after that to designate the open holes and the French key cups and all that good stuff. But this is live on our website right now, palinmusic.com, or give me a call, 417-882-7006. And you can take this flute home with you today. I would love that. I would love it if we sell all of them today. And hey, maybe I'll throw in a Hot Wheel if you buy a car today. Buy a car today. Buy a flute today, I'll throw in a Hot Wheel. How's that? All right, so that's flute number 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all the flutes.
That's all of them.
Yeah, I've got my quote, but I don't know where I put it. But I'm gonna look it up. I know where it is. It's a quote by Charlie Parker. Oh, did you have something to say, Jordan?
I was gonna ask you if you need me to go get it or anything.
No, I don't know where I put it. I know it's on my desk, but you don't need to run and get that.
Okay.
I'm going to pull it up right here, and I'm just going to chat with you while I'm doing that. So I should have it right here. Yeah, we got it. Got to scroll down my list here.
His huge list of
My
wisdom.
huge list of quotes, I know. It's coming up. It's coming up. Here it comes. Wait for it. This is a quote by the legendary Charlie Parker. Now, there are 2 legendary Charlie Parkers. There's one who's a musician, saxophone player, goes by the nickname of Bird. You've heard of him, the legendary, one of the most influential saxophone players of all time. And, oh man, there are so many here. Why didn't I have this ready for you folks? I apologize. Please don't leave me. Feed me, Seymour.
Do you have a favorite Charlie Parker song?
A favorite Charlie Parker? I have lots of. Oh, there it is. I got it. Ta-da! I got it. All right. I mean, there's too many to mention. Like my favorite album of his is Charlie Parker with Strings, where he played with a beautiful symphony orchestra, but you know, all of his traditional jazz stuff. Legendary album. You can check it out. All right, so here's the quote. Without any further ado. All right, music is your own experience. Your thoughts, your wisdom. If you don't live it, it won't come out of your horn, or out of your mouth, or out of your soul. You got to live it, folks. That's what music is about. That's why it's important. So yeah, Charlie Parker, legendary saxophone player, telling us about music. Music is your own experience. Your thoughts, your wisdom. If you don't live it, it won't come out of your horn. So thank you guys for watching today. Remember, we're helping people make meaningful music. It's what we do. And when you're ready, I'm here for you too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.